Kyle here from All Media Reviews. It's been a while since I've done a video. Sorry about that. It's just stuff's been happening, a lot of busyness with work, and anyway, kind of frustrated with some of my video quality. And I mean, cost of stuff, But anyway, my apologies. But if you do still want to watch my videos, I appreciate that. Thank you. But I'm doing this video on a couple CDs I got, and mostly on the Kevin Gilbert estate plans. I'm not going to do a calendar update now, maybe sometime soon. And then there's other stuff coming in the mail. But all right, so and like all the new releases that just came out like this week between Stephen Wilson and Coy and Cambria, um, besides this stuff. So yeah, these came out. It was technically last week. But these are the Matthew Gilbert KMG Archives, number 9 and 10. So one is the NRG demos. NRG, Kevin Gilbert's first band that did recording, at least. And I'm doing the math a little bit with this. He was 15 based on the dates on this 80 September of 82. First internet. I listened to most of this. I got this in the mail a couple days ago and I ripped it to my laptop. And some of this stuff is really good. Some of it is, yeah, they sound like demos, like instrumental demos, and I mean, he was 15 years old. The other guys in the band, N.R.G, that's not identical to the N.R.G line, but pretty close. Jason Hubbard, Mickey Story, I believe, and Bob Carroll sings. So Jock Harper played bass. I don't think Jock Harper ended up actually playing on the NRG album, the No Reason Given album, but I got to admit though, songs like Traveler, of course, I have a soft spot for Mass. Mass is probably my favorite track. It's become my favorite track on here. Um, are the biggest highlights. A lot of it is jammy. A lot of it sounds like UK. Like of course that beer jam with him and I forget who it was. I got my collection over there. I can pull it up. They did do some UK. It sounds a lot like ELP and UK at points, but instrumental mostly. And it's sort of, I mean, I'm sure that they had John Kuna birthday. His name's on here, I believe. Did some of the mixing, I think. Um, Actually, no, he didn't. My bad. At least it's not listed. But I'm sure they did some degree of mixing these, but I have to admit, among all the KMG archives, this one and the other one that came probably have slightly lower fidelity. They're not terrible, but they sound reminds me of like the Dream Theater, like the Majesty demo in some ways, um, and like the Pain of Salvation when they were reality demo. It sounds like a demo, like a very early, low, cost, almost bedroom demo in some ways. But again, it's been up and it's Kevin Gilbert, and of course, all these songs ended. A lot of these songs ended up on in other versions, under arrangements and additions, renditions on the actual album, which came out whatever that was in '84. Like those, it was like 2 years before that, so they worked on. But again, he was 15 years old. He was in high school. It's like a freshman in high school when they were a freshman and sophomore, maybe 82 or whatever. He would have been sophomore. I think he would have been a freshman. Anyway, so the other one is the Giraffe. It's a combination because my sense about it is it would have been like two EPs, and didn't want to overlap some of it with the other Giraffe KMG Archive. So this is the View from Here rough mixes, TVFH rather roughs, and Live at the Cabaret. So it's like you get 6 tracks from the View from Here rough mixes, and then you get a live performance from August 26th, 1988 at Live at the Cabaret, which, based on the timeline, was after, obviously, The Power of Suggestions had been released many months, August of 88, but it was before, obviously, it was like 6 months before The View from Here was released. So they didn't do any The View from Here music live, other than they have Home on here, which except yeah, there are vocals on there. So I guess you could say that's the one sort of unique track. There's also "Suits Me Fine," which was on Call Me Kai's Point Break '87, I believe. Um, but always has reminded me of something that NRG would have done. But I think it actually sounds better live in a way here, and that his vocals are more of his natural range, Kevin. Um, but again, and so like the quote unquote among the view from here mixes. Yeah, I mean it's got Home, Progress, those two, that's sweet. All Fall Down, The Way Back Home, Waiting for the Rain, and I Will Survive. It's not the whole The View from Here record, but like there's no air dance rough mix. But it's mostly just instrumental. There's some vocal parts that are put in here. And some of the jams are a little extended, which is kind of nice. And I think the production on those is great. The mixing among these two discs, all the music, that's got the best mixing on it. Um, Though there's something I discovered that isn't necessarily exclusive to on here, but it just hit me. I can just go over this now. So the track "Waiting for the Rain," which is a song I've always liked. Someone made a comment on the video I made a couple years ago on The View from Here, saying they love that track, and I could see that. There's that little like the kind of motif in it is very similar to the basic motif in Image Maker. It's just it just occurred to me. It's not identical, but it's very similar. That dun 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 dun, and the motif in Waiting for the Rain is like it's similar to that. It's not dun 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 dun. Yeah. So I never realized that. I mean, Waiting for the Rain was written presumably after Image Maker. Um, but I was like, why am I hearing something I've heard before? And I was like, that's from Image Maker. And whatever, So on to the actual live at the Cabaret. Compared to the other Giraffe live at Cactus, yeah, the fidelity. This sounds like an audience recording. It's fine. It's listenable, but I mean, the set list is Homes, Because of You, Suits Me Fine, as I mentioned, Image Maker, Can't Make This Love Go Away, The Last Thing on Your Mind, which that's like, to me, that's become like the sort of token 80s pop song, like 80s style pop song that Kevin wrote. I mean, not the only one, but one of the biggest ones. And then Everything We Are. And I mean, I like it. I mean, there's also, of course, some just words like dialogue that Kevin was known to do between songs, introducing the band, talking about some of the songs. One thing I'll say is the Image Maker on here. I mean, there's how many different versions of Image Maker? There's the one on the Shame and True, which always be the definitive one, which has the Nick DiVirgilio bridge vocals. Then there's the version that's from the Power of Suggestion, and then there's I think at least one on one of the Call Me Kai records. But this version live, I don't think it was similar to the one that was on live at the Cactus show, which I'm trying to remember when that was. I want to say that was maybe in '89, which I don't remember. At least I haven't listened to that for a couple of years. But Kevin's doing some serious like megaphone added action for like those parts, quiet on the set, another image yet. It's almost comical. It sounds like something from oh man. It reminded me of some comedic thing or some show it does have the sort of circusy kind of announcer thing. Someone talking through a megaphone announcing stuff, but it's half like humorous to me, or like what's the word? Not sarcastic, but maybe character driven, I guess. But part of it is like serious if you think about the way it sounds on here, and then how it ended up on The Shaming of the True, where a lot of the dialogue is the same. I don't know if it's all identical. I'd have to listen to it a few more times to really, with headphones, to really have a better idea. But of course, they did. He did that, but the megaphone, like the muffled vocals that are on The Shaming of the True version, are not they're not so, he doesn't yell into it. It's very sort of more calm and to the point, and more serious, more straight serious, but not animated. This is more animated, but I like that. I like that part of it. That's what kind of makes this version stand out. Now, again, I have to go back to listen to the image maker if it's on that the cactus one to see if it's the same. Maybe it is, but I just don't remember it. So anyway, I was just gonna go over quickly after just talking about these two. You can still get them on Pop Plus One, of course, through KevinGilbert.com. These are 9 and 10 in the KMG Archive series. And Bruno was kind of shy about all this stuff and the delays because this could have come out a couple months ago. I know, and talking about last summer, last fall. But the announcement that was made was just last week when they came out. And he had made a comment in one of the Facebook groups, basically alluding to this. There's going to be 4 more KMG Archive releases now after these two. So this is 9 and 10. 9 and 10. I don't think I have a number. I don't think I have a number. But so there's going to be up to 14. So one of them is going to be Thud. I can't even read here because my glasses. Thud related. So I don't know what that's going to be. That wasn't already on the the 20th anniversary and the alternate and the acoustic. I'm wondering if it could be some songs that didn't make Thud. Like the thing he was alluding to something, but it could be songs that were maybe going to be for Tuesday Night Music Club. Maybe. I'm not sure. Or maybe some Thud songs with some alternate vocals, like vocals from other people. Maybe, I don't know. It makes me curious, but Thud related. And okay, so number 12 is going to be an instrumental compilation. I assume it's going to be outside of all the instrumental stuff that we got on that 20th anniversary. That's probably going to be on the Shaming of the True multi-disc, and of course Call Me Kai, the 4th one, mixed bag. So that makes me curious too. Instrumental, I don't know, because a lot of this stuff was a lot of this was instrumental demos. So I don't, maybe it's later instrumental stuff. Could be instrumental stuff he did with Keith Emerson. Who knows? We'll find out when they come out. So then number 13 is going to be KG demos. So again, I wonder if it's going to be demos. I'm assuming outside of the Shaming of the True stuff. So it could be Thud stuff. It could be demos for some of the stuff that ended up on Call Me Kai, maybe. I don't know, or maybe some of the songs that were on the Nuts and Bolts. I don't know. That makes me curious too. Again, it could be demos where he worked with other people. Maybe the demos for the No 2 album. Who knows? And then the 4th one, the final one, according to what Bruno posted last week, it will be a DVD. So what the DVD is, I don't know. My hope, and I'm not assuming, but my hope could be some kind of semblance of a mini documentary. What I have a memory of, and I think happened, but it might have been my imagination to in the details, was they did that retrospective little short film they showed before the Shaming of the True performance in 2012, which got uploaded to YouTube. It's still on there through the Kevin Gilbert official page, and it's like what is it, about 10, 11, 12 minutes, something like that. It's not that long, but that was supposed to be the precursor to a series of documentaries. I don't know if they would have been like 20, 30, 40, maybe even an hour of the different eras. It would have been maybe 2, 3, or maybe even 4 of them. That was 10 years ago, maybe a little over 10 years ago. It was not that long after that thing was put up in 2012. Shown at that show, at the Shaming of the True show in 2012, and then I swear Bruno had mentioned something about that there was hope and interest. Then I asked him about that, I don't know how many years ago, because we didn't hear anything about it. It was like, I don't know if it was 2018, 2016, somewhere in that window of time. I was wondering, it's like, I thought you mentioned this, and he just basically said there was never any plans for him. So my guess is, like on that retrospective, there's part of showing Kevin talking about how he films when they made Toy Matinee. So I'm wondering if there's a fair amount of video footage that they have in his vault recordings that may show up on that DVD. Not the full film that was used for on the Giraffe, of course, the wallet box set thing that included the Yamaha competition, and then when they went to Japan and everything like that. Not that. I'm talking about this other stuff. I mean, there might be some Giraffe stuff that wasn't included in that could be included in this DVD, but I don't know if it'll be the length of 2, 3, 4 documentaries, so that would have been a lot, but just one. Give me 20, 30 minutes of just a little more of a semblance of Kevin. If there's footage, maybe it was with Any Money, some of the NRG stuff, some of the Call Me Kai stuff, Toy Matinee, obviously there is, some maybe a little more Giraffe stuff, and obviously Thud, maybe some of the tour stuff. I mean, obviously it's not a short deal to make that, but what is the DVD of? Unless it's like a live performance DVD. Could it be a Thud, like outside of course, the Troubadour show? Could it be a Toy Matinee DVD? Maybe. Could it be a Caviar DVD? I don't know if they ever played live. They played live after he passed away, of course, but somewhere in there. That's my guess. Or maybe it's a compilation of all the music videos that they got the rights. I don't know. But then he alluded to something else that they're like waiting. It's all ready to go. It's just they need to have some clearance. And myself and some other people on the Discord are wondering if it could be either, it could be, something involving Sheryl Crow, or maybe Toy Matinee, so I don't know. It's interesting questions. The good news is whatever it is, like the last 4 KMG archive releases are coming probably relatively soon. The plan is, and then whatever this other thing possibly is, I would think would be known relatively soon, also in the next probably 6 months, maybe less. And then of course after that we get the 2 final big pieces, being the Shaman of the True multi-disc, first or second, and then this book that they're working on that I talked about a couple months ago. So that's kind of it. Where we're at as the Kevin Gilbert fan base, and what's going on in the collectors that have our collecting boutiques. But yeah, like I said, I'm gonna try to. I'm seeing the Deer Hunter documentary film. It's being streamed through their Pillar, their crowd supporting, base supporting platform. Just like it's similar to Patreon, but it's a little smaller and maybe a little more independent. But I did before to see some of those live performances they recorded. But it's the documentary, their tour in 2023. I don't know if any of the footage will be at the show in St. Paul that I saw. But it's going to be tonight. There's going to be a Q&A afterwards. They screened it like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago in Seattle in a theater. There's going to be another screening, or another streaming tomorrow night, the 14th. But they're not going to be doing a Q&A. And then I would imagine sometime after it will be something you will actually be able to watch as an archive, maybe on with the membership to the Pillar. You have to basically sign up for the Pillar, at least for the one-off deal, or for monthly or whatever. But I would think they'll want to make it available, in some other fashion. The hope would be maybe a DVD or Blu-ray, but or maybe even something you could download through one of the services. But in the short term, go to the Deer Hunters website and the Pillar accounts. And so I'm going to be down there. It's at 8 o'clock Central tonight, the 13th of March. So watching of course, the Players Championship. Go Timberwolves! We'll see how they're starting to click a little bit, but of course, everything that's going on with the world and finances and stuff is becoming, this stuff has to distract myself from it. But that's partly why maybe I haven't done as many videos recently. But I'll try getting back to it. Try getting back to the CD A to Z, and I have 1 CD coming in the mail at least. Although given the budget, I'm going to start limiting how much I purchase. I'm going to go to probably Squid in May. But yeah, like I said, Steven Wilson, Coheed, and there's another one. Doves came out last week. There's still new releases, and Hotel the Laughing Tree is next week. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.